Hello, hello. I'm Barkley Romero with Real Gratitude in Rutsey, and I'm so excited to be here today with Christina Greenberg of Aviva Children's Services, who we are collecting canned food for right now as we speak with VIP Mortgage. Christina, thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you for being here with us.
Of course. I'm so excited to just see you around and kind of see what a day in the life is and what you do for the community. Do you mind taking me around and showing me a little bit?
Let's do it.
Awesome. Thanks.
So first I'd like to show you our Diva room. We have a group of volunteers called the Aviva Divas. They're volunteers, they come in twice a week and they sew things for kids in foster care. So it could be blankets, quilts, it could be, sometimes they're making dresses, sometimes they're making, or they also make things for the community to sell. So they'll make pot holders, they'll make table runners, they'll make aprons, they make all kinds of fun stuff, and oftentimes a lot of us end up buying a lot of it. But what they do is they make these things and they sell them to the community or to us, and all the money that they get goes back to our holiday program. Each year they give us between $5,000 to $7,000. This year they just let us know they'll be able to donate $7,000 to our holiday program.
Wow. And how do you get involved in being a diva?
They come in and just come and hang out and see if it fits them. So on Tuesdays we have a group from 10 to about 1, and on Thursdays we have a group from 10 to 1. And they come in and they sew. They're an amazing group of ladies, and on top of that too, they volunteer other times too. So during our holiday event, they'll show up and they're there helping us pack the gifts for the kids as well. So I'm gonna take you to our lifebook room. This is where we make life books for kids in foster care. It's like a big scrapbook, but our life book program, it's a way for children. You think about like a baby book, right? A lot of us have. It's like that but different. So it gives us an opportunity to put like a child's life into books and pictures, so that way, and it's something we can give to the kids so they hold on to their story. Oftentimes when kids come in, they have very little, so they may not have pictures of where they were born, or know their real story of what, or know their parents, or understand why they came into foster care. And through the research that the staff in this program does, we're able to provide them that information. It takes about 300 hours to complete a life book.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a lot of work, and here's like an example of the outside of it. And our divas make the covers for the outside. You know, we talked about our divas a little bit earlier, but they go through and then, I mean, this is just a sample, it's not a real one, but we go through and sometimes it's saying like where they were born, putting a picture of the hospital. If we're able to identify where, like when they set up at 6 months old, I can sit up all by myself, you know, and that might be something that someone gave the staff that's doing the research on it. So this is our community closet, the one that we have here in Pima County. So this is our closet, and it's much more than just this room. In here you'll find that we have gently used and new clothing, everything from t-shirts, shorts, shoes, hygiene kits, jackets. We have brand new socks and underwear for kids in care. And other things that get donated. Sometimes we'll have a stroller in here that somebody donated, or we'll have a bouncer, things like that. And so the purpose of this room is to provide emergency needs to youth in foster care. So anytime a kid comes into foster care, they may not have a whole lot on them. They're growing out of stuff, or whatever the situation is, they need clothing. Oftentimes with our kinship families, they're given a phone call like today saying, hey, can you come and pick up so-and-so, he's coming into care. And so they say yes, and they may not have a whole lot with them at that time. And so this gives the families an opportunity, DCS the opportunity to come and get clothes and things that the kids need. Outside of this, when I say it's more than just this room, we also provide beds. We can provide car seats, strollers, whatever is really needed for that kid to help, provide that emergency need. We have diaper bags, cleaning kits, hygiene kits, and sometimes there's other emergency things that they might need for school. We have school supplies over here as well. Each year we do a back to school drive and we provide backpacks filled with supplies for kids in foster care. Because if that's one less thing that their family has to worry about, we want to help take care of that.
So how do people donate to these needs? Do you collect them year round, and can anybody come in at any time to donate?
Yeah, we accept donations year round. What we say Monday through Friday between 8:30 and 4:30, you could bring your donations here to Aviva. Gently used is what we tell people, right? If it's something that you're willing to put back on your child or on yourself, like it's just something that, we don't want things with stains and stuff like that. Each month, we serve between 300 to 500 children out of this closet.
Wow. So if you are a family in need or you know of a child in need, how do you take advantage of these resources?
So we serve mostly youth in foster care. That's our focus. So if someone is caring for a child in foster care or kinship child, they can reach out come to our website. You can put a request in at wishlist@avivatucson.org. You send an email there and we can guide you along that process. And then another way to donate is financially as well. So we are a foster care tax credit agency. And so we do provide a lot of our funding comes from the foster care tax credit. So this is our game room. This is where we provide behavioral health services and groups to kids that are in foster care or access eligible. So in this room, there's games, there's some fun to it. We're teaching life skills, we're teaching coping skills, and doing some fun in there, right? But you can also see we have different areas set up that we provide. We talk about skills, we talk about coping skills. And our staff really gets to work with these kids and help them grow. It's an amazing program. With our behavioral health program with Aviva, we serve about 800 children each month. But yeah, here as well we have some of our groups in here as well. And this is where we're able to provide, maybe you could do some more art focused stuff, you know what I mean? We're not getting the carpets dirty. Or just kind of working through. You have a little bit of time to spend time in here, and we can spend time in our group room as well, our game room. Here's one of our playhouses, our playhouse. So when kids, are doing their therapy, they can also go between their therapy and come in here and process between the two. So it's a great place to kind of come and just
have a safe space.
Have a space, just be, yeah. This is our playground. Again, for when we're working with our youth and behavioral health in our core program, gives them another outlet to be able to come outside and just be and just have a little fun. We're talking about going through some tough stuff or whatever. It's just nice to be able to have fun, right?
And be kids.
Be kids.
Be kids.
Most important, be kids. So these are our bags. So they're called Bags for Kids. So each year our volunteers get together. This year we had about 100 volunteers, a little over 100. They get together, we have a one-day event, and we call it the Sew-a-thon. And so during this one-day event, we sew, I say we, I didn't sew. They sew 2,500 bags.
Oh my gosh!
2,500. So this is a yard of fabric, drawstring, and so we have people sewing the bags together, and then we have a group of people that are cording the bags, is what this is called, where they just
put in the string.
That's more my skill level, is putting
Mine too, exactly.
And these bags, the purpose of these bags, this is to go to, we give them to DCS workers, we give them to police officers, and the goal of these is to make sure that no kid's stuff gets moved in trash bags. Oftentimes during removals, if there's not luggage, they might reach for a trash bag. And that was kind of an issue that some people, about 22 years ago, it kind of came out that, hey, this is happening. This is a problem. They were seeing trash bags, just kind of, each kid was walking away with their stuff in their trash bag. And they're already going through one of the worst days of their life. And then for their stuff to be put into a trash bag, it just doesn't happen, right?
Yeah.
And so they made these. Like, obviously, yes, luggage, duffel bags, that's the first priority, right? But if you can't, let's do this.
Say you have somebody that wants to help out with this event, but they don't have the time. Do you accept fabric?
Yes.
How do we help with this event?
Oh, we accept fabric because, if you think about it, every single one of these is a yard of fabric. And so we accept fabric year round. We store it in our warehouse. And then donations too. If people want to like fund this specifically, they can do that. If they want to volunteer, if they want to come in on that day, we do it in August. At least this year we did it in August. And everybody brings their sewing machines. It's great. It's a great experience. But people can also do it on their own. I mean, if they want to, we have instructions on our YouTube channel.
Oh, cool.
Of how to do it. During the pandemic, we couldn't do it in person.
Yeah.
And so what we still had, the need was still there. And so we said, well, let's do it virtually. And so we had little packets here, and people came and picked up fabric, and they did it from home.
Oh, that's so convenient.
Yeah.
That makes it so easy to help.
Yeah, no, for sure.
How many bags did you make that year during the pandemic?
We did over 3,000.
Wow.
Yeah, I think because the sew-a-thon, it's a one-day thing, right? We can only do so much in one day. Though this year doing the 2,500 was the most we've done in person event. But doing it virtually, people have more time at home and they can do that, right? And so that's it was awesome. It was a great success.
Luggage and duffel bags and stuff are important as well for these children. Do you accept those as donations if people have luggage?
The luggage is harder because it's so bulky. That's kind of why they started this, because initially they were getting luggage. Yeah. But you think about how we have 2,500 of these in our warehouse. Yeah. To store 2,500 pieces of luggage is hard. We do, and if people do have luggage and want to donate, they can definitely call us. And if sometimes we have a need that's popped up, or we do keep a few on hand. My worry is just to get a whole bunch of them. You know what I mean? We don't have the space for that. Duffel bags we could do. We do. That's something we can like fold up and we can put it away and prepare for that.
How long have you specifically been at Aviva?
I've been at Aviva it'll be 3 years next month. Yeah, next month will be 3 years.
And Aviva's been around since before the 80s, like 78, I believe?
1978. Yes.
1978, okay.
So it started with a group of people that were sitting together having coffee, and they saw that there was, reading a newspaper and seeing that DCS was having a hard time meeting the needs of youth in foster care. And so they said, what can we do? We can do something. And they went to DCS and said, how can they help? And since then, we have continued to see that. Even with our closet that we toured earlier, we will ask them, hey, we ask them, what do you need? How can we help you? And we constantly have DCS coming into the building saying, we need clothes, we need diapers, we need bottles, we need formula, and we're here to provide that for them.
All right, and what ages do you work with?
0 to 21.
0 to 21? Mm-hmm. So even after they're out of the foster care, technically, aged out?
Kids can stay in foster care till they're 21 years old.
Okay.
Yeah, and we can still help till they're 27 if they've aged out of foster care.
Oh,
there are different things that we can help with.
Okay, so say you're one of these children that are, aging out, and you don't necessarily have the care to get you this help. Is there any way for them to reach out to you specifically?
From our website, you can do wishlist at avivatucson.org, and we will guide them in the direction that they need.
Perfect.
One of the things that we have, our core program. Our core program stands for Community Outreach, Resource, and Education. And in our core program, we work with kinship families who are, we work with all families, but mainly we're working with our kinship families. And kinship are people who, like grandparents, aunts, uncles, who have said yes to taking placement to their niece, nephew, grandchildren, right? And we help them navigate through the system, help them understand the processes and how to, what does a CFT mean, and help them understand that. Make sure they're getting connected to the local resources that are available to them. And sometimes they need a little bit more handholding, and we do help provide that to them. We also do that with our teens. Yeah, and that's kind of where I was leading to.
Yeah.
With our older kids, if they need a little more help, a little more guidance, we can get them enrolled in our core program, and help them to get engaged with what behavioral health services are there for them, and help them make sure that transition that they're having is going to be successful. And if there's, I know there was a year we had a student who was during the pandemic actually. Had a full ride to Penal College and were ready to go, but they closed down the computer labs and didn't have a laptop. And so we were able to help provide that young adult with a laptop. We've had that too with the university too, with kids at the university. One of them had needs on help. Kind of whatever it is. And like we had a student last year who was graduating high school, who, he had earned that. He worked and was going to get his degree, right, or his diploma, but didn't have a cap and gown. And so the week of, they are contacting us saying, hey, so and so needs a cap and gown. He's set to walk this week, but he doesn't have that. and so we were able to help provide that. So we provide like the emergency needs, that's really what we want to do, but there are all those extra things that happen that we want to make sure that everyone has, the kids have a chance at a normal life too, right?
That access.
Be able to access that, be able to walk with their classmates to grab their diploma.
You're such a special program. I love that you work so closely, with DCS to get these kids exactly what they need. That's so important to have that channel of communication open so that you can really advocate for them and be there.
Well, and I think with what we do here at Aviva, we provide the emergency needs, right? We provide Aviva health services, and we have these other programs that we're really trying to make sure that every kid that is in foster care or has those things met for them, right? Have their needs met. And sometimes it means thinking outside the box, and that relationship that we have with DCS helps us. And when new challenges pop up, we're able to say, how can we help? Like we did from the beginning.
Yeah.
We continue to say, how can we help? How can we be here to support you? So yeah, it's fun.
What a great program.
Thank you. I'm very proud of it.
Yeah.
And we have an amazing team. I can't say more about my staff and everything that they do.
Yeah, well, we are so excited to be picking up the canned food for the families and to be able to help in any way.
The food drive is huge. Each year, it's been an amazing contribution, and like our kinship, when I mentioned earlier, kinship families, they're the ones that are saying yes at that moment's notice, like we mentioned earlier, and it's a little harder for them. They may not have the same resources that another, like a licensed foster family may have. And especially around this time of year, it gets a little tough, right? And so if we can help provide that, what you're doing, what the collection you're doing is going to help provide a little relief to these families, right? And that way to make this holiday season even better for them. So it's such a huge, I know sometimes it's just like a can of food here or a box of food here, might be small, but in the end, what it does, the impact that it does for these families is huge. So thank you.
Absolutely, and thank you so much to the community for donating. It's been such a pleasure collecting them all, and the community has been so generous. It's been a lovely experience and something I'm very, very grateful to be a part of.
Thank you.
Of course, thank you.